Hello everyone! Today I want to look at two companion programs or apps I use in my landscape, seascape and nighttime photography. These programs allow me to identify the direction of the sunrise, to find information about the moon and to see which planets and stars are visible in the night sky. Let's look at that and some other things they do. My name is Brian Carey. Welcome to Photography and the Creative View. The two programs I use here are the Photographers Ephemeris, otherwise known as TPE, and Stellarium. The Photographers Ephemeris allows you to plan your outings using natural light, and Stellarium is a planetarium software which allows you to identify objects such as planets and stars in the night sky. Let's go look at them. So let's start with the Photographers Ephemeris, sometimes called TPE. The Photographers Ephemeris is available on the web, or you can get it for your iPhone. I believe it costs $10, and for an Android phone it's $4. So we can open it up here on the web. So I'll just go to my shortcut here, and there we are. So the first thing you should do here is to set your current time to ensure you're getting the right information. So we can just go here, we can set our current time, the button says now, and we can see all of our lines change. And what we have here, these lines indicate, for example, this line here is the direction of the sunrise this morning. This line here is the direction of the moonrise this morning. This line is the direction of the sunset, and this line is the direction which the moon will set. And this line here is the present sun direction. So for example, the sun is almost due south to where I am right now. And if you want to see where it's going to be later today, for example, you can take this and you can go maybe to later today, and you can see it's moving across into the western sky. So let's talk a little about the interface. So the important stuff to know is your calendar. So you can set times here, you can set your dates and times here if you want to plan an outing maybe next week, next month or whatever, next year even. And okay, and we can also go back and forth a day. So we can go back to yesterday. Okay, I'll go back to present time. And if we want to plan an outing for tomorrow, for example, and we want to look at where the sun is going to be tomorrow, we can click here, and it went to May the 5th, and it's May the 4th today, so it went to tomorrow. We can search by place name, town or city. We can go full screen. So let's go full screen here now, and we can get a much better view. But I'm going to go back to, I'm going to exit full screen so I can get all my menus here. So some of the other things that are shown here are the astro start. Here's the time your astro twilight will start. So these are your morning twilights. So your astro start, your astronomical twilight, your nautical twilight, and your civil twilight. This is start times for 3 of those. And you see your moonset time, your sunset time, your moonrise, your sunset, your civil end, that's your civil twilight. These 3 are your evening twilights. Your civil twilight, your nautical twilight, and your astronomical twilight. So let's say, for example, if I want to plan an outing, let's say I want to plan an outing for, maybe I'm going to pick Cape Spear, the most easterly point in Canada. So if I want to plan an outing for tomorrow, I'm on tomorrow. Okay, so I can see that my sunrise is 5:36 tomorrow, locally. So what I can do, I can just take my pin and I can drop my pin. I know where Cape Spear is because I live close by. So I dropped it on Cape Spear and I can zoom in. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go full screen just to give me a better view here. And I can go here and okay, and at 5:36 tomorrow morning, there we go. 5:36 is sunrise. I'm going to take the pin and I'm going to bring it up by the old lighthouse. So what we would do, we would walk up the boardwalk, walk into the trail a little ways, a few hundred feet, and And as if we were standing right here, I'm just going to move this a bit more. So if we were standing here, this is the direction of the sunrise out over the Atlantic. So it would be quite easy to catch the sunrise and see exactly what direction it is. Next, I want to talk about Stellarium. Stellarium is planetary software and it's available for a Mac, a PC, and Linux. And it's also available for an iPhone and Android. And it's a free application. So let's open it up here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the atmosphere off. So now I can see what's available out there even now, even though I can't see him because of the daylight, but you can see him here. But what I can do, I can plan for an outing, maybe later tonight, so what I can come here. And I should say the first thing you should do is to check your time, make sure your time is set to current time. So you'll click this button here. And if I want to go later into the day, I can also go here. And the more I click this, the faster it goes. So we can see the stars just drifting through the sky. That's really cool. And they're Sirius. Okay, and okay, so that's it's a little after 4 this afternoon. So it's still light out. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, and I'm going to stop here. And actually we can see part of the Milky Way here, which is really cool. And there's Antares. And this would be, okay, this is on the 5th. So this will be 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:20 in the morning. There's the moon in the western sky. There's Arcturus. There's Polaris, the northern star. And as we look up, this is called the zenith. So we're looking directly overhead. So I'm going to go back to a time just earlier in the evening. Okay, let's go back to maybe 9 o'clock or something. So this is 8:30 this evening, locally. So as you can see Deneb here. You can see Vega. There's Arcturus again. And the moon. And there's Sirius. And there's Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse is a star located in the constellation Orion. And it's either gone supernova or it's going supernova. So it could take a few hundred years. It could take 1,000 years for it to explode. But when it does, I hear that it will be as bright as the moon in our sky for some time. And there's Bellatrix. These are the two shoulders of Orion. That's Orion's belt. That's his sword. And of course, if you ever want to find Sirius, you can, if you can spot Orion's belt, the 3 stars in Orion's belt point towards Sirius. And there's the planet Venus. So the menus include the location window, where you set your present location, your time and date window, best to check that. Sky and viewing options, your search window, if you want to search for a particular star, maybe planet. Your configuration window, astronomical calculations window, and a help window. And here we have constellations. We have constellation lines here, and we have constellation labels here. So let's turn both of those on. And these are really cool. So here we go. And there's Orion. As you can see here, there's Orion's belt. And there's Betelgeuse. And that's Orion's bow. And that's his legs. There's Sirius. That's the dog star. Okay, so we'll turn those off. We'll turn off the constellation lines and the constellation labels. Okay, and the constellation art is pretty nice too, so you get an idea of what that looks like. So I'll turn those off. And this is your equatorial grid. This is your azimuthal grid. This is your ground, or your terrain. You can turn the Earth off and look below the horizon. Your cardinal points. Of course, you need your cardinal points on. So, like I said, this is one of your cardinal points, this west. And of course, there's also north, east, and south. So those are your cardinal points: north, south, east, and west. And what else do we have here? Your planet labels. Let's see, what was Venus to? It was here somewhere. Venus is in the western sky, I believe. Yes, there it is. So we can turn off our planet labels, but that's another thing we'd like to have on. I use that all the time. So your planet labels and some other functions here. A lot of this is really designed for a telescope use, but I find it great for nighttime photography. The functionality of both programs and their apps are very similar, but one thing I have to add is the augmented reality mode of the Stellarium mobile app. So let's start Stellarium. We'll start it here now, and we got it up, and there's your sky, and there's the moon. And what we can do for the augmented reality mode, we go to the menu and we click this one here. It's like a cell phone. And then as we pan around, it will follow and track what's in the sky. By turning the sensors on, you can hold your phone up, pointing at the object in the sky you were looking at, and it will display what it is. I love this feature. It amazes me to think how much work we used to have to do to get information like this. Now all we have to do is to pull out our phones to get it. Technology has changed the way we do a lot of things, especially photography, and it's given us the opportunity to learn and be creative at an astronomical pace. I'll put links below to the programs used here. I'll also put links to my own portfolio and ebook. And I've got more videos on creativity and the joy of photography on the way. Thank you for watching.